In 2005, Idaho looked different than it does today. The Treasure Valley was just beginning to boom. Governor Dirk Kempthorne led the state, and the population hadn't yet hit 1.5 million. Yet, amid the growth, Idaho's children were falling behind. That year, a small but determined group of advocates asked one bold question. What if Idaho had a united legislative voice for its children? Sue Reents and Hollis Brookover were among the original architects of Idaho Voices for Children.
I came back to Idaho in 2003 and joined the only advocacy group existing in Idaho at the time, Stand for Children. Not long after I volunteered, they closed up shop. They said Idaho was hostile to children and they didn't want to invest their resources there. So at that moment, I realized that we needed to build our own organization, one that we could grow and count on.
We organized a statewide meeting to ask people if they would be interested in being a part of getting a child advocacy organization going, a group that would really represent what's in the best interests of children. I think we had over 100 people attend. We had quite a few legislators who came, and there really seemed to be real interest in getting something like that going.
So we wanted to build an organization that was data-driven and trusted by our legislators to become the go-to on children's issues, the organization that would help them understand better how the policies they were making would affect children and families.
Idaho Voices for Children was born. The nonprofit quickly grew, and today is a powerful force at the Capitol. As we look back over the last 2 decades, 3 achievements stand out as truly defining. The creation of Book It Forward, leading the effort to expand Medicaid, and transforming foster care policy. Book It Forward was started as a project under Idaho Voices for Children. It has so far placed more than 850,000 books into the hands of Idaho children.
Well, Book It Forward is an all-volunteer organization. We collect gently used books, we clean them and sort them, and get them to kids that don't have access to books at home. But it's just really been the 3 of us that have been carrying this forward for over 12 years.
With all of the support that we get from the generosity of our community, from the wonderful organizations that help us, we're able to then support the teachers that are so hardworking and the hardworking social workers and all of the people who are out there working with us in order to improve childhood literacy in Idaho.
When we're in a classroom and we're giving away books and just to see how the kids react and how excited they are, it's always like so wonderful, and also kind of a surprise that they really are that excited about books.
And you know, we started out with the 700 that first time. That next school year we had done 7,000 books among the 3 of us and our friends. And then the next year we got involved with United Way, and that year with United Way, it kind of turbocharged it, we went to 70,000 books. And so now we're at 850,000+ books, and we are looking forward to the million book mark.
In 2012, the state of Idaho faced a new opportunity to provide health insurance to tens of thousands falling into a coverage gap. The movement to expand Medicaid wasn't easy. Through years of tireless advocacy, community organizing, and a clear moral compass, Idaho Voices for Children became the state leader in health policy reform.
It was a bold decision. Idaho Voices for Children had been a small, nascent organization, and then we gained momentum and got bigger staff. And for us to take on such a big issue, it was bold. You know, we were putting ourselves out there for something that was going to be a really tough fight, not an easy win, not a quick win, but what was at stake was so huge that we couldn't step back from the fight.
I know when I first had the opportunity to work with Lauren, she said, I think we're gonna do big things. And Medicaid expansion is that big thing amongst other big things.
No, when we took on Medicaid expansion, it helped us leverage national connections, new networks, new resources to get into the healthcare advocacy space. It grew our organization, so we had more staff to tackle all kinds of issues. And it really put us on the map in terms of just the media and reporters coming to us to better understand what are the issues of the day and how do they affect Idaho's children.
I would say Medicaid expansion redefined what's possible around political advocacy in the state because of the innovative approach that was taken by Idaho Voices for Children. I mean, those national partnerships that we have and the ability to hire more staff ultimately led to one of the first story collection efforts around Medicaid expansion in the country that has been modeled nationwide as a result of that and continues to be modeled in different advocacy efforts in the state.
Partnering with youth allowed Idaho Voices for Children to expand into foster care advocacy and beyond, becoming a consistent child welfare voice in the capital and across communities.
So when I joined the team 10 years ago, there was a really clear need to build out our work in foster care policy and make it a top priority. There was just no accountability or oversight really in the child welfare system. And here I was, and I thought, you know what, I'll raise my hand and say, I'll dip my toe in, how hard could this work be? Working in foster care policy is incredibly unique because it is an entire system based on trauma. It is complex. There are multiple agencies and government systems and courts and families in crisis. But at the heart of all of this are children who, no fault of their own, are finding themselves in the state's care. We really have been able to bridge the divide and make the issue nonpartisan. Listening to youth has been so key to everything that we've done in our child welfare policy agenda. And anytime that we've partnered with youth, we have seen incredible results.
After 20 years of dedicated advocacy, Idaho Voices for Children stands as a testament to what a united legislative voice can achieve for our state's families. But our work isn't done. As we look ahead, we remain committed to building on these foundational achievements and addressing new challenges.
What's been very heartening is to see the community gather around Idaho Voices for Children and support it through all these years, all the trials and tribulations, and continue to celebrate every success.
Over the last 2 decades, the political landscape in Idaho has changed pretty dramatically, but what is so cool about the model at Idaho Voices for Children is that we've been able to adapt and really just build on policy successes year after year. And all of this is thanks to that original vision that we still have for championing policies to help kids and families thrive.
When I look at Idaho Voices today, I marvel at what they're able to accomplish. Our kids are in good hands.